rock me, mama.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Amie. This is Rock Me Mama.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, girl. All right, what are we talking about?
We're talking about life before kids.
Like who we were before kids.
If I had Morgan's laugh, which, God, I wish everybody could hear, I would have just gone,
like that's her. Pretty good.
Thank you. Because...
yeah,
that's
that was a request from one of our people. We asked what you guys wanted to talk about, and a couple of you requested to talk about who we were before kids.
Which I cue producer Morg's laugh because what the hell is life before kids?
Yeah, I know.
Like in a cute way, like what was life before them, but also like genuinely I don't remember.
No, it's so hard to like. I remember, obviously we remember, but it's hard to imagine your life without your kid.
Yeah.
And also it's hard to imagine like not living in this wild, unhinged, daily struggle that we live in.
Yeah. I don't remember. I mean, I was still training in person. So I was working at...
So you were a trainer at a gym.
Mm-hmm. So I worked... at a gym called True Mav, and I would wake up at 4:08 every morning and started my day with a 5 a.m. class.
Jesus.
And had a 6 o'clock, a 7 o'clock client, and then taught the 8 o'clock, and then had like a night, like it was like back to back to back to back. I was done at 1 o'clock.
For your day?
Yeah, I'd go home, or I'd work out at the gym.
What kind of money were you making? Like, what do you make for like a client if you're just gonna like train
clients
someone?
Or that's where the money is. Classes are you do because you like it.
Classes are just fun, but clients you're making like 150 or more. Like, is that?
It depends. It
I don't
depends
know.
on if the gym's taking a cut. It depends on how you've done it. Because like when I first started personal training, I was charging hardly anything, and then towards the end, my prices like tripled.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends. But that was my life.
I didn't even think about that you were just like training people physically in person all day.
Yeah.
Because you don't do that at all now. It's all online.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like the most social life that I mean, I literally worked with people all day long. And then now I talk to toddlers and y'all.
You like, obviously you're going through a hard time right now because you have 2 little kids, but like, you consider yourself a happy person in general, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And did you consider yourself a happy person always? Like, do you think kids have brought like a new, like, do you feel like you were happier in certain ways or less happy?
I wouldn't say I was happier. No, I wouldn't say I would say I'm happier now. Yeah. Which, Macy, replay that again in your head.
Yeah.
I just said that out loud. No, like I'm for sure happier now. I mean, right now with
I agree.
a 3-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. Ask me.
No, like I cry most days, but I would say I'm happier now.
The joy that I wouldn't say that there was like joy in my life.
Yeah.
Before kids, but now every day, even on the hardest day, there's still joy. Yeah. But I mean, those were my days. And then Chase worked for a job where his hours were super loose. So he was basically working like 9 to 1 as well. Yeah. And so we would like on a Tuesday be like, let's stop by the liquor store and go to the lake. And we would just like be on the boat and then go back and do it again.
Yeah. It's so fun.
So like a little different than what we're doing now. Slightly. What about you? You were like touring and...
Oh my God. Well, yeah. I mean, I was always doing music. So I lived in New York City for a long time. And then I lived in Los Angeles for a long time. And
what are the time frames
between
there?
Everything, I was touring with different bands and my own bands. Well, I went to boarding school when I was 14, graduated, lived in New York City when I was 18 with some of my friends. I was there for 9/11.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was in New York for 9/11. I remember everything about 9/11. One of my friends didn't come back until later on, and we thought she died. Like, I remember people walking with soot on them, and I remember thinking we were all going to die. Like, it was very intense. God. So I lived down there for that, and then I fucking loved living in New York City. It's still my favorite city in the world, especially after 9/11. But I would play shows all the time. I went to jazz school and quit because I was just like, I fucking hate jazz school. I would play shows all the time, and I got a record deal like really young.
Yeah.
So I left the bar that I was working at, and I started touring, moved to LA, was in a band and touring and living in West Hollywood, and just like fucking partying.
Yeah.
Like between all the touring and all the bartending, I was partying my ass off, and like partying with like famous people and doing like copious amounts of cocaine and just like drinking and living that life. And it was so fun for a while, and until it got not fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And during that time I had also been in a couple really long-term, one especially really long-term relationship. I was with a guy for 7 years almost. And we lived together, and we had grown up together. And so when I broke up with him, I think I was 27 or 28, and that was a big, huge deal. And after that, I just focused on music and kind of dated a lot. I dated a lot of really bad people, like really like douchey, terrible people. Dated some nice people too, but mostly just dated like guys that just didn't care about me.
Yeah.
You know, that pretended to care about me, that said they cared about me, but like just really didn't.
Yeah.
And I think I just lost a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Especially in my early 30s, because I had dated and toured and done so many things. And then I kind of found myself in this place where I was like, I hadn't met the guy that I wanted to marry. I knew that I did want to have kids at some point. I had been dropped twice from 2 different labels. Like I just kind of like was at this low point. When I met Nick, I was at the lowest point of my life, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. My chronic pain. So through working out and stuff, I have gotten a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And also because of just like my mental health, I struggled so much with my mental health and with being diagnosed bipolar. Like I think my physical and mental, like the mind-body connection caused me to really deteriorate.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have acute injuries, as you know, like as a trainer, like an acute injury is just like an injury that happens because of something. But if you couple that with like depression, sometimes it can turn into full body pain.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me.
Yeah. No, that makes complete sense.
So I struggled with full body pain, and I still do, but I'm kind of like I have waves of it. But yeah, like I always say that my life now, even though I complain about like, you know, like not sleeping and all that stuff, my life now is so much happier than my life was before.
There's
being a mother.
Purpose.
Oh my God. I always felt with my career and with my love life that I was reaching. Like I literally felt like I spent my whole life reaching and working towards something that I couldn't quite pinpoint.
Yeah.
And like I was just eternally unsatisfied and just reaching, working so hard. But I just didn't, even though it was music and it was love and it was all those things, but I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And even though I do have so many desires still for myself as a career person, having Farah and having a family, I feel like has given me so much more focus.
For sure.
And just like purpose.
It's purpose.
Yeah.
I remember probably 3 days into Eve being born, Chase had gone out to get something and came like right back and had tears in his eyes when he walked in the door. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "I just like broke down in the car. Like I have never felt more purpose in my life." I was like,
God,
I know,
so
it was so sweet.
Yeah.
He was like, I feel, I mean, he's like crying as he said, he's like, "I've never felt more purpose than I do right now."
True.
And it's crazy how kids do that too. I mean, you wake up and that's like, whether you are dead ass tired or got 10 hours of sleep, which who's doing that as a parent, or, you know, or sick or hungover or whatever, like no matter what, your purpose is to be with your kids.
Yeah.
And that's such a blessing.
And I think like kids really represent like hope, you know, and like when we raise these little humans, essentially what we're doing is like, we're saying like, we have hope for you to change the world.
Yeah.
Like we have hope for you to make the world a better place. And like, it's when you get to my age or our or whatever, of course, there's still so much life to live, and there's so much that we can do. But like a lot of that pure, innocent, unadulterated like hope and like confidence and all of that has been dwindled a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Like life really does dwindle that down.
Yeah.
And that's why older people people past a certain age should not be making decisions for our future. Their souls have been tarnished.
Yeah.
Young people are the hope.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're raising these little humans, and it really gives you a purpose to be a better person. Like it really does.
Oh my gosh, it does. And you kind of get to like reparent yourself.
Yeah.
There's things that you realize with your upbringing, and we both had perfectly great, like, for the most part. Yeah. Like we weren't like abused. Like there wasn't
no one was beating me.
Right.
Yeah.
There wasn't a bad upbringing, nothing like that. And I think that, any parent would say that there are things from their childhood that kind of resurface when they become a parent that they get the opportunity to rewrite.
Yeah.
Which is so, so cool.
Yeah. I like really have had to like kind of give my young self a lot of like just grace and kind of like just say like, because I've lived my older life really being ashamed of a lot of myself when I was younger, the decisions I made, the way that I treated myself, the things that I did, things that I just pray Farrah doesn't do or go through, just I don't want her to go through that. I don't want her to go through those phases in order to become better. Right. I would love her to skip that, and so I just want to like instill in her confidence so that she doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But I've had to really look back and be like, you can't be so hard on that person. That person was lost.
Yeah.
She didn't know how else to be.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also something that's like when I was talking to one of my best friends about fertility and stuff, and she was like, and I told you this, she was like, you have a lot of blocks. Like you have a lot of emotional blocks that could be causing you to just not get pregnant. And I thought about that and I was like, God, I don't forgive myself for so many things that just aren't even that bad.
Yeah.
But just like you are, I'm so fucking hard on myself.
Yeah.
And when I think about like my past, sometimes I think I am just so hard on myself that I create these emotional blocks that I can't get past. And I want so badly for my daughter to be free of that.
Yeah.
And she won't be.
No, but
more so than me.
But you can also tell her that and have open communication, and that narrative can be different for her.
Yeah.
And that's really, 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 really awesome.
Yeah. The women in my family are struggle very hard with depression, and they live with a lot of regret. And I really don't. I'm someone that is very self-aware and to the point where, I know what I have to do to not repeat the cycle. And I just want her to, I just want her to be a happy person. Yeah. I think that's the main thing.
Well, and you and Nick are
she's so happy.
Best parents that I've ever. I know Morg would agree with that. Y'all are phenomenal parents.
Thank you.
And y'all have a good relationship, which she sees.
Yeah. We love each other. I think that's big too. I never saw my parents love each other ever. Yeah. I saw my parents hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
which has an impact.
It's huge.
Whether
I never saw them like
what
kiss
that exact,
or hug.
Yeah.
I only saw them hate each other, and then I saw them hate each other from afar after the divorce.
Yeah.
And I think that like we all kind of, our group of friends, like we all kind of have that. Like we love our partners. Everybody complains, but like we love our partners. But we have like our partners back.
Complaints of like, oh my God, he literally just took 45 minutes in the bathroom.
My mom never had my dad's back, and my dad never had my mom's back.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Even with little things like you could go to one of them and be like, Mom said no to this, and the other one would be like, oh, I don't get, It wasn't like there was no solidarity.
Yeah. They weren't a team.
No, they were not a team.
Yeah. I wowould say all of us are teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like we're all one big team. Like all of our families are. Yeah. No, it starts at home. And I think we're all doing a good job of that.
I think another thing about me before kids is that I was fearless. And now I am full of fear. Because I don't want anything to happen to her.
Yeah.
And the fear started when I got pregnant, as it does for most women. And the fear, you know, like the dreams that I have, like I literally, I am just the thought of something happening to her paralyzes me, and I need to like get therapy to work through it because I can't live thinking that all the time.
Yeah.
But when I was childless, I was fucking fearless. I was. Since I was a little kid, I was just like her.
I think I'm more fearless now.
Yeah, not me. Like I would fight a bear for her. In that regard, I am fearless.
Yeah.
You know, I would bite a shark for her. But I'm scared of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like I just...
You're her protector.
Yeah. But
and it's hard not to worry.
Yeah.
It is really hard.
It is so hard not to be scared of everything once you have a kid. Because I don't know how people survive when their kids, if their kids die
God,
or
I can't
get
even.
sick.
Yeah,
I just don't know how you survive that.
I can't even think about it. Somebody said something about that. Oh, somebody commented on one of my that freaking video that's gone viral. It's
the one where you're like having Wyatt in doggy style,
yeah,
and everybody's like, "Oh, he got it."
No, literally,
just like he went, just like he came into the world,
right?
Coming, I don't know. I don't know what
everybody
I'm saying.
Is,
yeah.
It's so coming out the same way he went in.
Yeah.
That's not how he was made. It's also he doesn't come. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine. Somebody commented, I think either yesterday or today, saying, "Oh, I can't imagine having kids because I'm so scared of what could happen to them." And you know,
someone commented that on Instagram.
Oh yeah, and kept going and going, and then the final thing was, and parents that lose their kids before they die.
Ugh.
And I, like, first of all,
that's a lot to unpack on an Instagram post.
But I did, like, my head like obviously was like, oh my God, like, yeah, there are people that experience that, and
no,
like,
not me.
Dear God, I hope that
take me out back. Take me out back.
I can't.
Nope.
I can't imagine.
Nope. You know the plan for when I'm old. Not the same plan. Just take me out back.
Yeah, it's it's a love that you
you can't live without. It's not. Nope.
Ugh. But it's a whole different life now than it was before. Kids.
Well, like imagine, like I mean, Nick and I, when I was on tour with Sugarland. So when you tour with country bands, it's called Weekend Warrior. You leave on a Thursday and you're back by Sunday, and it's awesome because you have the beginning of the week to like do whatever you want, and then you tour for 3-4 days tops. Yeah. You make your good money, and then you're home. Nick and I and we were such dicks. We could have been saving so much fucking money, dude. He was doing well, and I was doing well, and we could have been saving. But no, we were eating oysters every single day. Literally, I'd get home from tour, and I'd be like, you know where we're going. We'd get like beef tartare and oysters and cocktails at like Rolf and Daughters, and like,
oh, that's fun.
We'd go to all these fancy places, and we would just like while out.
Yeah,
every week.
That's fun.
It was awesome, but like not one dime was saved.
Yeah, that does suck, but it's never too late.
No. Now he like comes home from Costco and I'm like, let me see the receipt, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because he's just so irresponsible with Costco. He comes home with like a pep in his step. When he goes to Costco, he comes home with a fucking pep in his step.
Do. That's how Chase is now.
And I'm like, what happened at Costco? And he's just like, look, he's like so amped.
I don't know what it is about
he loves Costco. Why do they love Costco so much?
I don't know. Chase does now too. Because
they live for Costco.
Yeah. It's time for him to go.
Like they become dads and they just live for Costco. It's like so ridiculous.
It's all about the meat too. It's like how much meat
they love the meat.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Nick has a jacket from Costco.
Oh, Chase has clothes from Costco too.
Like a legit jacket, and people love it. And he's like, Costco.
Which one? Costco.
He's got like a long pea coat or.
Oh, I definitely haven't
and
seen
it's
that.
like from Costco.
It's like Kirkland brand.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Chase and I, whenever because y'all know that all of our friends they're still our friends, but they were our friends before, our non-parent friends.
Yeah.
We go through phases of being like, oh, like we really miss them. You know, we don't really ever see them. One of them just recently got married, and so like they obviously still haven't started the whole kid thing.
Yeah.
And, our friends that live in Chicago, I don't know when they'll start trying, but like they're like basically what I'm saying is all of our friends outside of y'all, still are
not
steps behind, and so they have all that ahead of them, but they do still get to like do things,
like live life,
and so every once in a while like they'll send a video or a picture, like we'll see an Instagram post or whatever, and we have our like tiny little second of like, that looks fun. And then we both within 5 seconds are like, I wouldn't go back.
No.
Like I really would. I wouldn't.
No, I
we
wouldn't
are
either.
so like we sit on our screened in back porch and looked out at the kids running around in the backyard, and we're just
so
like,
fun.
This is so wholesome.
But it's fun. Yeah, but we're fucking
so
drinking margaritas.
Fun.
Like
just in like the best,
you know
like,
what I mean?
most rewarding way.
Oh,
like
absolutely. The kids are having the best time
we
together.
have the best life.
Our 3 kids hang out constantly and they just love each other
so much. We're just lucky.
I had a couple girlfriends of mine who I fucking love and miss the other day. They texted me and they were like, hey, my girlfriend Abra, who's a director and producer, and she's like, I'm filming in Chicago, and my friend Carmen lives in Chicago and she owns a Mexican restaurant, and they're both 2 of my favorite friends from LA. And Abra was like, I'm filming in Chicago. Carm's gonna be there too. Mm-hmm. Why don't you just come up for the day Tuesday? And I was just like, in what world? Yeah. And then I said, well, I'd have to find childcare if I was going to either do that, like either come fly or drive. It's like 6 hours and 45 minutes. And they were like, just bring her. And I said, she's a fucking terrorist.
Also, no, even if
I'm
she
not
was like
bringing her to Chicago. First of all, I'm going to get in my car and drive 7 hours with my toddler and then drive back because she's there for one day.
No, the hardest of passes.
I'm going to fly for $500 each because now she's 2.
Yeah.
So I can't get on the plane with her for free. Or I'm going to find someone to watch her at that short of a notice and just leave.
They mean like today.
Yeah. Today.
Today. Yeah.
And I said to them, I was like, as much as I would love to, because I, in my heart, deeply would love to go to Chicago today and be drinking margaritas with 2 of my best friends.
See, that's where Grace
that I
lives.
haven't seen.
My best friend.
I fucking love Chicago.
I would love to just
and
do that with you.
Also, I would love to be spontaneous. My life, I used to like meet people on planes and just like spend a day with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was just a spontaneous person that did whatever the fuck I wanted.
Yeah, it's not an
and that
anymore.
part of my life, sometimes I do miss that. I do miss the ability to do that. I would never go back. I would never take it back, what I've done, because she is the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, of course I want to drink in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me that like, if you don't have kids, you just don't get it. You don't get it, because anyone with a kid would never ask that question.
Right.
They would give you 2 months. They'd be like, hey, this is probably a no dice.
Yeah, they'd
but
propose it.
We will be in Chicago in 2 months. But Aubrey probably someone just told her she was filming.
Yeah.
And Carmen can drop whatever that day. You know what I mean? And that's fucking great.
It's very different.
That's why I do believe a lot of people should not have kids.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you really want them, you should not have them.
Yeah,
because they take the spontaneity out of life. Mm-hmm. In that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Chase and I traveled a lot. I mean, we probably went somewhere new because we just could with our jobs once every like 2 to 3 months. Yeah. And then if we weren't doing that, we were on the lake.
I always could with my job too. I mean, if I wasn't on tour, I did whatever the fuck I wanted.
Yeah. I do miss that. But I also, Chase thinks he's the realist in our relationship. I'm very much the idealist. I still have this just idea that we're like, gonna just take the boy because we can with our lifestyle. Like we're able.
It's the least fun thing ever.
Well, right, but I still in my mind am like, no, we're like gonna just take them and go places. Like we can rent a place in Florida for a month and work from there and do that with the boys. Which like right now you couldn't pay me.
That would not be fun.
Don't crush my dreams yet.
But just right now, it would not.
No, right now I would never.
You would want to be home so bad.
Like, I would never.
The only place with young kids that is fun at all is home or one of y'all's places.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, whenever I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to this place and like see what happens. I'm like, I regret this. Mm-hmm. You know, unless it's like a kid place.
Yeah.
Like the
right now,
East National
no.
Beer Garden.
But like I want to go. I want to travel just as much as Chase and I did with the boys.
When they're a little
permitted,
older,
whatever.
I think you can.
Yeah.
My friend Talia travels with her kid literally all around the world all the time.
People do that.
Yep. It's really hard, but it's just part of her business.
I think I'm too much of a schedule person to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Personal problem.
I am
and it's
too.
not what
like
I'm changing.
I need a schedule.
I have to have a schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would love that. And I say this, and we were planning on going to my father-in-law's house for the 4th because that entire side of the family is coming in town for it. And with the way that things are with Wire, and now that is a 17-minute drive. And I don't even think we're doing that this weekend. Yeah. Just because we're literally like...
Oh, this weekend is the 4th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, are we going to all party?
I'm sure all of us will just hang out.
Oh, we are?
We're going to Spencer's.
Oh.
Great.
Cool.
We'll go to Spencer's. Oh, yeah, because it's Glenn's birthday. Got it.
Oh, yeah. We'll okay, yeah. We're definitely doing that.
Yeah, because I just don't think that we can...
well, I'm definitely drinking then.
Yeah. I will too.
Yeah. I do love drinking. I do. I love drinking. What can I say? I fucking love drinking. I love a cocktail. I love wine.
The segue that your brain just took. That let me... To the listeners and viewers that don't know Amie as well as I do, what just happened in her head is she was thinking, okay, how long am I going to be able to go without drinking? Because I just decided I'm not going to drink. I'm going to take some time off.
Yeah, I'm taking a little time.
She immediately viewed herself at Spencer's house and was like, I'm going to be drinking there. Obviously, and then that was your
that was what happened in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what before kids, I loved drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Too much.
Yeah. Chase and I would be healthy during the week, which is just so much worse. But I mean, I woke up at literally 4:08. That was when my alarm went off every single morning.
It's so funny that it's 4:08. Like it was never 4:05 or 4:15.
The 3 extra minutes when it's 4 a.m. are
you
don't take those for granted. 4:08 every single morning, Monday through Friday, and then Monday through Thursday. Either way.
What time do you go to bed if you wake up at 4:08? Like 8?
9 or 9:30.
Yeah.
I couldn't really fall asleep. But sometimes I would, I can't nap, but I would lay down when I got home sometimes and kind of rest. But then so we didn't drink during the week. Maybe on a Thursday we would have a little bit. But then the weekend came, which meant the lake.
Binge drinking, yeah.
Binge. I mean, we would literally wake up and start at 10 and then be out on the water until, we watch the sunset.
Yeah.
And then go back home, have a few more drinks. I mean, before you know it, we drank for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And we'd be we only drank one day this week, but enough for a month.
Yeah.
I don't miss that. But we we didn't have anything else to worry about.
So fun. When COVID hit, and we've talked about this before, but when COVID hit, oh my God, my tours got canceled. Everything got canceled. I was not pregnant yet.
Yeah.
And we would just get after it.
Yeah.
I mean, drinking all the time.
Yeah. What else did anybody?
We didn't know what else to do. I mean, remember that?
Yeah.
And then I was pregnant and I was like, wow, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, I was not nice
COVID
to anybody.
Sucked.
I was not nice to anybody. We would go, y'all have heard me talk about our cabin that we have since sold, but we quarantined at our cabin.
Yeah.
Which is our favorite place in the entire world. And so we would have friends come and go and all of that. And once I got pregnant, of course, all of our friends would go on the boat and drink. Yeah. And there were a few times where I just bitch raged at all of them. My friend.
Yeah, I hated everyone.
Yeah. My friend Claire at one point was like, Mace, if you need to go back to the house and sleep, then you can. And she's just sipping her beer, doing nothing but living, and
living
breathing.
A happy life.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not tired. And blew up on her. And Chase was like,
yeah,
I understand that you're not able to do what you want to do, but that was terrifying. That was how I was the entire pregnancy. Yeah. Or when people would do things that I wanted to be doing. Yeah. I was terrifying.
Dude, I have vivid memories of driving to the Planet Fitness parking lot in Madison. And if you know where that is, it's a dark fucking place. But we lived in Madison and I would drive to the Planet Fitness where I was scared of everything. I would be wearing my mask and trying to walk on the treadmill because I didn't have in Madison, we didn't have sidewalks or anything. So I couldn't walk near my house. But sometimes I would just go into the parking lot and sit in the parking lot and cry. In the Madison Planet Fitness parking lot. That's how
so
dark it was in the beginning of my pregnancy.
sad.
Because the beginning of my pregnancy, I was like desperately depressed.
Yeah.
Really, like was having dark fucking thoughts.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is really sad.
This is and then I would make where you're able to laugh at it.
Oh my God, it's so funny now. I would make these little like weird comedy videos like for myself. And sometimes I would post them, but I would like make these weird little
Are they on your Instagram still?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my God, I know what I'm doing tonight.
I would make these like weird little like Planet Fitness, parking lot comedy videos. And then just be sitting there like just hating my life. God, it was dark.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, I mean, life is better.
Life is better now.
Better after
now
kids.
We just cry and send each other selfies.
Yeah, now we just cry every day
in our home, and
it's fine.
And now Eli, I cry every day right now. And
also,
Eli's
like,
always like, "Mama, okay?"
Oh
and
yeah,
I know, and I'm like, "Okay, well, that makes me cry harder."
I know.
That's so sweet.
She does that too. Mommy's sad.
Mama's sad.
Mommy's sad.
Like, wipe away a tear.
I know.
Ugh. Mama, okay.
Oh my God.
Baby,
this
I'm
one
okay.
time in the car when we were driving back this trip, when we drove 15 hours and she was literally crying the whole time.
Yeah.
And at one point I started crying literally hysterically because the night before she had 104 fever and she didn't sleep one wink and I didn't sleep one wink. And Nick's mom was having like a fucking rager for her 60th birthday. And I stayed up the whole night and then we drove 15 hours on no sleep. Of course, Nick got sleep, but Farrah and I didn't get sleep. So she starts crying hysterically, and she'd cried for so long. I start crying hysterically, and I had my hands, like my head, my face in my hands, crying. And she looked at me and she said, "Mommy, no." And then we hugged each other. She said, "Hug," and I had to take her out of her car seat while Nick was driving because she was hyperventilating, seeing me cry. I took her out of her car seat, and she just gave me a hug and said, "Mommy, no, Mommy, no." And we held each other for so long. It was the most emotional. Like she felt my pain.
Yeah.
She did, and she's done that a couple times, even when she was really little. Like when Nick's dad, when things with Nick's dad were like getting really, when he was dying, she would see me, and she would be like 5 or 6 months, and she would literally like emote and like and empathize and just be like feel our pain.
Yeah.
And she did that in the car. She was like, "Mom," she couldn't handle it. Like it made her so upset.
Sweet baby.
And I was like, okay, like she's a really good, like she feels me.
Maybe Wyatt will be that way.
Yeah, he will.
Eli's that way.
Oh yeah, they feel you.
I think
they feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli
Especially mommy. They feel us because they are part of us.
Oh yeah.
They literally lived in our bodies and they're part of our body.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so sweet.
It was so sad and beautiful and awful.
Sweet
and
babes.
yeah.
Anyways, life is better now.
Life is better now,
it?
honey. I'm not like a tragic, just coke whore. Anything's better than that.
Cheers to not being a coke whore.
Cheers to not being a coke whore, honey. Okay.
Oh God, it's bath time in 2 minutes. I need to go.
All right.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.